Righto. Are we good though? We're poured.
We're poured.
So, Roy, was this your...
Roy, I owe you an apology. They are roast beef.
Oh,
no need to apologise.
I am.
Well,
Just
the
acknowledge
apology
that
could
I'm
come in the
always right.
shape of.
That'll be enough.
The shape of.
That's it.
What's the other flavour? What's the other flavour?
Pickled onion.
We've got an echo happening.
No.
Mine? No. It's just an Isle of Skye issue.
I think he just repeated himself really quickly.
I did.
Did you? Aye.
Aye. Ken. Walloper.
I think the only flavours, there used to be a tomato one, right? Did you? Aye.
Aye. That's so funny. We use that all the time.
Yeah.
Is that right? Aye.
Is that right? Did you? Aye. Right. There used to be tomato, Monster Munch, I think, but pickled onion and roast beef they are the flavours.
I mean,
hands up. If the flavour is pickled onion, hands up.
Oh, aye, absolutely. Pickled onion.
Good.
Where is it? Have you boys seen this yet? I've got a friend who works in Heinz, and she sent me some of this.
Oh, what's that? Dude, why did you not tell me that existed before I left?
I know, I'm sorry. I don't think it's even out yet. This is insane.
So explain what it is.
Wait.
It's exactly what you think it is.
Hold. Rob, describe what you just held up.
I held a pickled onion Monster Munch mayonnaise, and it's insane. So
in a positive way.
Pardon?
In a positive way.
Unbelievably positive. You think it could be completely overwhelming, but it's the best. Like,
what do you have on?
Chips. Chips. Like we had what are the tater tots? Like just
taters.
Damn, I'm starving.
Right then, get them out. Get state of the collection, boys. Yeah,
let's go.
Right, okay.
In 3, 2, 1. Hello, Dramfacers. Welcome to episode 36 of the Dramface podcast. Officially, the state of the collection episode. How's the collections doing? Are we checking? Are we checking on the collection? What's floating our boats? So yeah, how are we all? How are we doing? I'm joined. Sorry, I'm forgetting all my routines. We're just getting back on the horse, eh? Today we're joined by surprise, Rob, Roy, and Mr. himself, Master of Disaster, Gordon.
Yes.
Hello,
that's me.
How are we all?
Good.
Feeling
good. So much better than last week.
Right? Honestly, just blow the cobwebs off last week, and then we get going. This is the real one. This is the meat and potatoes. This is the one. Yeah, there is a little echo there as a delay I heard in someone's headphones. But we'll carry on because we're professional, and this will all get ironed out in the edit.
No pressure.
Just a little round table, I think, of our drams, and then I'd love to just maybe talk about our collections, if it's fair to call it a collection. My stash, the apocalypse stash. Let's go, Roy. As you are sipping, I would love to know what dram you reached for when we aligned on. We talky about our collections. What's in the glass?
It had nothing to do with the collection. It was one that was a potential for last week's topic when we're talking about the Glasgow Whisky Festival weekend. I was very struck on the Friday under the table tasting that I thought all of the drams were fantastic things to bring along. I don't think there was a single one that didn't fit very well. But I was struck at how vocal the 7-year-old drams were in the lineup. We had a 7-year-old Glen Scotia from first fill bourbon. Then we had a 7-year-old Kilkerran, heavily peated Kilkerran triple distilled, which was knock you on your backside.
Mm-hmm.
And then a 7-year-old from Ardnahole, which was their version of their take on heavily peated, which was 100 ppm in the malt. And then it was left for 7 years in fresh Oloroso, and that's what's in the glass here. Gregor, you were asking me about my preferred style of whiskey. 7 times out of 10, I suggested to you, maybe a wee bit more than that. I'll reach for bourbon, ex-bourbon, refill bourbon. This is not that, of course, but you need this every now and again, just to kind of a wee step change. This is just phenomenal liquid. I can't believe that it's this good at this age. It's just, the future is just going to be so much fun. But was that the question? Yeah. What was it? What the drama?
In the glass? Yeah.
Okay.
No,
okay. Well, there you
Sorry,
go. That's what I in the glass.
I didn't realize how many 7-year-old whiskies we had, because there's actually a fourth one. There was the Adelphi. The Chichibu was it was an Ardnamurchan 10-year-old and a Chichibu 7, right?
7.
That was actually worked out a 7-year-old as well. The Glover.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that, eh?
What a star pupil you are. You were paying attention. You were listening.
Got my notes. A cheat sheet.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I tell you though,
I actually clocked that on the night. That was wild.
Yeah.
that was a great one. We almost had the birth of a new game there as I was watching Gordon in the background, off camera. The game would have been, what's Gordon up to, based on his shadow.
Yeah.
For the podcasters, Gordon had walked away and you could just see his shadow doing something that could have been awkward.
Yeah.
Rob, in the spirit, I'm hoping, I'm throwing this out, I'm hoping you knock it out the park. When we were discussing about states of the collection or what dram to reach for is in the glass, what's in your glass?
So I went for well, let me say up. So my collection has moved in a year or so ago from my office, which is now a nursery, and it had to be rehomed in the living room. So I have had to adopt a 1-in 1-out system, and because it's a confined space, it cannot expand any further. So there's of open bottles. There's a basement downstairs with lots of unopened bottles, which is a problem. But I'm managing it. But one bottle I have opened, it is broken out of that shelf, and I need to contain it back. It's because it was one I got through Dramface as a review, or to review, and it's a Series 3 mystery malt.
Mystery malt. Wow.
And should I tell I probably should say what it is. It's a Royal Broccoli.
Not if you don't. Not if you want to stay anonymous.
Oh well. It's a Royal Broccoli 16. You've seen
All
it.
right.
Well, actually, I want to tell the story about it, actually. So, just to kind of contextualize it, because in the review, I said like, I think it's a lot Lomond, or I think it's a Ardnamurchan, and I was sat on the Sunday on the blind, and I was listing it out because I basically turned up with this bottle as my gift with a blank cork, so it was complete mystery, and people thought quite fun to have a guess what it might be. And I was listing out my tasting notes, and James, the chap next to me, said, "Oh, I get that from a Royal Broccoli," and I was like, "Yes!" So I'm not completely off the mark. So I really wasn't not familiar with Royal Broccoli at all, because it's like it's fizzy, it's lemon, it's like Loch Lomond. But yeah, so this has been my kind of. It was a treat. Obviously, it was great to receive a mystery malt, as it always is. But it's broken out of the shackles that is my whiskey collection shelf, my forever Boeing whiskey collection shelf.
And did I hear you right though? There was a floor bottle now, so they were on the shelves, but now there's a little bit of spillage onto the floor as well.
It's it's shelf adjacent, shall we say?
Right.
Yeah, the
You
floor is
should play the
exclusive
game.
for.
Are
As
your
long
bottles
as
on the
it's
floor?
touching.
No, they're shelf adjacent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, the
Play-
floor is exclusively for a big shoebox full of samples that go underneath the shelves, so it's very contained, which is it's difficult when it's like perfect access height for my two kids to get a hold of it. So, fortunately, touch wood, there's been no accidents just yet. But
Well, I think you're fine as long as it's touching the shelf, right? So if that
Right,
first
yeah.
bottle is on the floor is touching, then you could put another one. As long as that touches that one, it's part of the same collection.
100%. But then the creaking or bowing, should I say, of the shelves, that's almost becoming the limiting factor now, where I have to figure. This is terrible. I have to figure out where I can put taller bottles on the outside of the shelf, but I can't put them in the middle of the shelf because it's starting to hit the shelf that's bowing in the middle. So yeah,
Which tall boys are a pain in the ass for us? Aaron old bottles
Daft
were
Mill.
taller. Daft Mill.
Glasgow's
Glen
quite tall.
Scotia.
Glen Scotia, yeah.
Is all Glen Scotia taller or just
Uh,
Aye.
It's gotten shorter, right?
No.
Recently.
I
The new
think
bottle.
Calax, they'll fit in a Calax now, Glen Scotia. The old Victoriana was a pain, but I think they fixed it. Hold on.
Oh,
here we go.
So that's what I need
Live
to
test.
upgrade to is a Calax.
Calax is the
this is new Glen Scotia Victoriana. They're all in the
Oh.
same size bottle now.
Oh.
And if I go along to Calax,
Yes.
Ikea Calax, right? This is the default whiskey.
Not sponsored at all. You can buy
Oh,
bookshelves from anywhere you want for your collection.
oh, look at that.
Ooh.
Just.
Hey.
Do you have an old one there to show us?
Yep. Maybe. No.
Not an old case or bottle.
This is twice now we've had somebody just exit from screen left.
You'll find some.
I
Watch
know.
this.
This is really not good for the audio part of the podcast.
Roy is wandering
You have to get
aimlessly.
mic'd up next.
I don't have an old Glen Scotia bottle. I don't know why. I think I've rinsed them, but I think it was about this height.
Yep, let's go for averages. What is that?
No.
You know
Does
what is
not
too
fit.
tall? And it is obscenely tall. Even taller than Daft Mill.
This is actually
don't say Spay.
It enrages me, Spay.
Space, yeah.
Looks like an olive oil bottle.
Looks like
Yeah.
a javelin. It is so long.
Far too tall. And it's a pain in the ass for retailers as well. It really pisses off retailers too.
Why though?
It's just a lot of glass, isn't it? And it's
think about
thick bottomed
pouring.
as well.
And if your hand's down here, you know,
Yeah.
the leverage.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's you've gone somewhere just to be different, and
Yeah.
not a good way.
Maybe taller is better because you're above all other ones. Or
Bimba's the same as well. The amount of glass on the bottom of that bottle is like, it's just heavy.
too heavy.
You're trying to pour it two-handed into like a cup heater or something.
Here he comes. Look at the size of this sucker.
I know. This is like. Do you remember the footage from the Apollo missions? Right.
Aye, when did it stop?
Jeez.
Hey, taking off.
Too much. Look at that. It's still going.
Aye.
Still going.
That's
Oh,
mental.
And then a half a foot of glass.
Right, look at-
yeah.
so that one that wouldn't fit there.
It's head
That's
and
even
shoulders.
taller. So Spay's taller than a Daft Mill, do we think?
Yeah. Oh, aye. Oh, aye.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh. Roy wheels to the right. And wheels back.
Exits
really.
left.
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Taller than Daft Mill.
Mental.
I think it's there. I've got some taller American bottles up here, but those are kind of freaky ones, weird bourbons or whatever. But in terms of Scotch, Spey is the tallest.
What's the shortest?
Ooh.
It'll be
Like core, not
Right,
not
it-
20 milliliter.
It'll be Loch
Kilhoman.
Kilhoman
Kilhoman blend.
Company.
Kilhoman. Rassy might be the lower.
no, I think Ras.
Loch Lee is a wee dumpy one. Or
Yeah,
Hirach. Hirach is pretty.
or
Then with this,
Hirach,
it's pretty short.
Who?
Glenwivis.
Glenwivis.
Now, this is a good game because Roy's got pretty much every bottle you wanted to check. This is a good-
Bladnoch. That's quite a dumpy one.
Yeah.
It's quite dumpy.
Well, if we're talking about collections, this is a good topic for me to justify mine, right?
Yeah.
So here we have Rassi.
Hmm.
To move the mic. You can't see the top.
No,
can
pull
you?
it closer to you, we will. Never mind. Never mind.
We'll work on. Oh, there's nothing in it between Coleman and Rassi.
Okay.
You got a wee Lochlee there?
No, I'll just bend this camera down for a second.
Bend it.
Here we have Coleman.
So, for the
Rassi.
version of the podcast, Roy is lining the bottles up to compare height.
Lochlee is by far the shortest.
I think they're shorter. I think they're shorter.
What's shorter than
Bladnoch? Get a
Lochlee?
Bladnoch bottle. Is a Bladnoch bottle shorter?
Yeah.
That's still got a lot of glass on the bottom, though, Bladnoch.
Yeah.
I bet it's square though, so it kind of defeats the
I thought this was quite short, but that's the Glenwivis got a lot of glass on the bottom too.
Bladnoch is about half a centimetre taller than Lochlee.
You know what's quite dumpy is Glenrothes.
Yeah. But no.
I'll be right back.
Where
Listeners.
else? Where else? Roy's not going to have any of that woven. We're talking just regular. Yeah, look at that wee grenade.
Aye. The one that's
Lag,
really-
similar to that.
Oh, we have a contender.
Hey.
This is great.
No, Lochlee is 1 or 2 millimeters shorter than La Bomba.
Lochlee still.
Still Lochlee, but we're down at the stage where there's nothing in it. Did somebody say something else? Woven?
Well, yeah, but it's a blend. Does it count?
That's a 50 CL. It doesn't count either.
50 seat, yeah.
Ah.
Well, I say it's pretty cool.
Is that
I feel like-
cheating?
I was gonna say Lochlee's like a really super efficient like packaging. Like it's obviously perfect.
Depends.
That's
Because
what
there's
Razzie did.
70 CL woven and
There is.
50 CL woven.
That's a
What's
50,
that?
I think
right?
if it's 50 CL, it shouldn't count, right?
No, it can't count.
No.
It can't count.
So
Can beat it. Is there anything shorter?
now I've got like 400 bottles on my desk.
I think
Right, now
Lochlee's
drink them
probably
all.
tallest.
Yeah, now drink.
Well, we've proven who had the biggest collection, but we knew that. Rob, you made a point there about your kids' height access thing.
Yeah.
Are you or anyone organising your bottles in a way for access, whether that's to hinder, you put pawns, you put sacrificial in front of it, or how are you?
Can I jump on this first? Because this is something that I kind of struggle with a lot. Obviously, I've already said like I've got limited space, but I'm always forever. I care most of it is the flavor chase, right? I want to. It's an education as much as an enjoyment, right? I want to get into whiskey. I'm into whiskey, and I want to get everything I possibly can out of it. To a point, it's almost like not to a fault, but so okay. So I do mine obviously super tall ones at the top. I have core range. And then I have like a mix of core range indies and then full indies at the bottom. And that's just a mess of like S&WS. And they tried to organize them in rows, but this rows thing for me, it's an ADHD thing. But like, so I have a Thompson Bros row. And for me, I'm like, I can't get out of my head. Like, okay, I finished a Thompson Bros. I've locked into this system now. I have to have another Thompson Bros that refills it. It's almost like I've got a lineage, right? So it's like with I've got a Deanston row because I love Deanston. I've got a Ardemurken, I've got a Loch Lomond, and it's like I don't know because obviously Roy, you obviously have your squares, right? When you have like a different distillery or region or whatever in each one, I've kind of locked into this thing, and it's like it's a trap now.
Yeah.
I can't fathom a scattergun approach. It needs to be dialed in.
Well, do my shelves look scattergun to you? Oh boy.
No, that's what I'm saying. I feel like you
Because they do. So as you shot suggestions to me and I went and grabbed them, I knew where to grab all of them, right, from where they were exactly. And it took me a long, long time to come up with a system where I could do that. And one of the things I had to give up, Rob, was the uniformity.
Right.
What you've just talked about there, like keeping all SMWS bottles together, looked really nice on the shelf, but I could never find what I wanted. I didn't even remember the selection of SMWSs that I owned.
Yeah.
So that couldn't work for me. I had to break up the collections. So it doesn't look as nice, but it functions. It's much more practical. So it's a little bit like
to me. It
gantry
looks like it's organized.
Sorry?
Sorry, it's interesting because for me, like in the V pub, it looks like I can see behind you we've got like a Ben Romack section. Obviously, being to the whiskey collection, you've got like a Deanson and whatever. But
No. So this big square behind me here, that's at the top section there is Speyside, and it's in alphabetical order. And that's the only section that's in alphabetical order. Down here, this side, that's all the Highlands, top to bottom, and it's geographical. So Northern Highlands are at the top, Southern Highlands are at the bottom, Eastern, Western, all of that is laid out like that. It's just it only really works in my head. This shelf here is all kind of world whiskies and European and Asian and all over the place, and up here is just outsized bottles, some samples and things. Over there is Campbelltown. That big, that's out of sight here. You don't even see that.
Roy has pointed off camera to the left for the.
Yes, sorry. And blends and blended malts, and then down the bottom section on the glass shelves is all the Lowland whiskies. But behind me on the V pub is all kind of either
eye candy.
My producer of the year, my whiskey of the year, and my independent bottler of the year. They occupy that space for that year, and it switches out every year. But other than that, it's all kind of antique bottles and things, and gifts and stuff. So it should rotate. And oddball stuff, yes. But theoretically, I should be able to just go and whatever distillery or whatever thing I'm looking for, I should be able to just go and relatively easily grab it. It doesn't always work, usually.
I mean, it is very apparent from this podcast alone that I am terrible. I am a distillery, but I feel like splitting things into region, that would give me another education of like, okay, I know now that one is a lowland, that one is technically a highland, and it's not a Speyside.
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting. I like that.
Yeah,
I'm reminded as we're talking about organising collection, one of the best, and I might have talked about this on a previous one. One of the best films, one of the best books, is High Fidelity, where the guy's a record collector. Rob, I forget who, Nick Hornby. Nick Hornby wrote it.
Yes.
High Fidelity, one of the best films ever made. Gordon, have you watched it?
Is Jack Black not in that?
John Cusack.
John Cusack, and it was Jack Black's breakthrough role.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's so good. But there's a hilarious scene in it where he's reorganizing. He's going through a bit of a identity crisis on the back of a breakup, and he decides to reorganize his record collection. And his mate comes to say, "Hey, you coming out? We're going down for a pint. You want to come?" He goes, "I'm reorganizing my record collection." And it's so funny because one geek recognizes another geek. He went, "Oh right, okay, yeah, I get that. That's all right." And he goes, "How are you reorganizing?" And he's got it all laid out as he's reorganizing. And he says, "How are you organizing it?" And he goes, "Not alphabetical." And he goes, "No." He says, "Biographically." He says, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, if I want this Janis Joplin record, I need to remember the summer of '86 when such and such gave me this that then put me on it." And then it would be this incredible web, which I thought would be hilarious.
Very personal.
Aye, insane. Nobody else. It wouldn't make sense to anyone else.
It works though. That's the perfect system, right?
I quite like the thought of it being lineage, right? Like it's almost like your journey. It actually represents your whiskey journey.
Mhm.
That could be interesting. But Gordo, when did we touch on your dram? No.
No.
What's in your
So
glass?
up
as we
here
talk
you'll
about
see
our
nothing. And
what's in the glass?
in my
Hiding
glass is a confusion
Mm.
because in the kind of frenzy of what to talk about tonight, you pitched the whiskey of the year, so I went and grabbed that.
Oh, does that give
so
anything away? Does that give anything of a future review away?
It's this one.
Nice.
What are you holding?
Nice.
I am holding up the 10-year-old in inverted commas Paul Lanois single cask for the visitor centre, cask number 90, which is just peak. You know, Ardnamurchan has always been core range is the kind of de facto baseline, and then you work from there. And then they released the Paul Lanois, and it just gangbusters. And this is like the concentrate of that. It's just top.
Jealous. Maybe jealous. That would be a nice one to have. Did anyone try the wee Sunday contribution from Conal Mackenzie? He brought that monster bottle of Mortlach, of course, for comedy effect almost.
Yeah.
But he also brought a bottle, duty paid bottle of cask
412. Yeah, I did try it extensively. Good, eh?
Beautiful.
Should have
10
released
years
that
old
one.
next year. Sorry?
Should have released that one.
I think you just listen to this.
But honestly, if we had released it though, Gordon, if we had chosen that, if I had got my way, it wouldn't be. Yeah. So what is that? That's
411.
It's 411. So that's the darker one.
That is the darker one.
Yes.
Z banger.
So see the amount of people that come up and say, "Oh, my favorite is this, my favorite is that." They all have a different pick. It's 50-50 whether they go for the darker or the lighter one. You shaking your head. It's always going to be the darker one for you, right?
Sorry, I was shaking my head at the light. It's crap.
But they all ask, you released 411 and 413. What happened to 412? And I was like, well, I wanted to release. Why didn't you release 412? Well, I gave into the consensus of the room. Everyone else wanted 411 or 413, actually. Sorry.
By that point, I had skittered fajitas down my top and I was sleeping in the chair.
You can't. I think it was the right thing to do at the time. And we've left 412 to blossom in the meantime. It's been 3 years.
Has it?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
In terms of whiskey age, it will be, well, Connell says it'll be 10 years next year. But the problem is that in 3 years, it's probably lost a few bottles as well. So we maybe struggle to get 300 bottles from it. But it's nice because he said that he'd put a wee paper clip in that one for me and it's still sitting there. So it's nice of him to bring that along because it's still in his mind, right? But it was so fruity. What a juice bomb it was. Just gorgeous liquid. And I went back for another sip a wee bit later and it was rinsed.
Yeah, that's what I'm into. That's my state of the collection right now is ferreting.
Ferreting.
Wait. Just pause. Just pause.
Sorry.
Let's just hold for that second. Just dramatic pause. As all 20 of our listeners are contemplating what Gordon means ferreting.
I know what you mean, man.
Digging about.
Just me that doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, go for it. Ferreting.
Been in the States for too long, Gregor.
That's what it is. He's
I was hoping he was going to mean something like felching, but we'll carry on.
What's felching? I want to see what Gregor looks like felching.
Oh, no, you don't trust me.
Right, we need to keep this PC because
Well,
I really don't want to edit anything.
I'll send you a link, Roy, that you can add to as a little addendum. It's a radio story where they discuss felching.
This has went off piste very quickly.
Go for it. Ferreting. What are you doing? What are you ferreting?
Well, Connell Mackenzie calls it a fossich when you go looking for stuff. You have a wee investigation. So that's what I'm doing. I am investigating various connotations of the Ardnamurchan spirit because I need to be careful with my buys at the minute, and so I'm buying stuff that I know but oblique views of the site. So, for example, this one here is a more recent one. This is the single cask for the Whisky Lounge. But what's interesting is it's only one of 60 bottles, and it's a peated first fill ex bourbon octave, which I thought was quite interesting because usually when you have an octave, it's a sherry octave, and I haven't had an Ardnamurchan that's from a bourbon octave, which are usually used to kind of quickly develop flavour, right? Aye, so I thought that's really interesting. So that's a wee thing that I thought I'm going to go for that because it's quite interesting. I've also been doing a lot of blending. So I got this for Christmas last year off my fine lady, which is the Glover, which Gregor just mentioned is Ardnamurchan unpeated with Chichibu peated, and it's absolutely brilliant. And so I'm now starting to think about what I know the Ardnamurchan character, and I know how it sits in various like port cask, which is another one in that horrible cupboard. But how does it interface with other spirits like Dornoch, like Chichibu? So I'm just trying to, do this a wee bit in the minute, as well as this incredible unkiltered North British 34-year-old, £90 for 34-year-old whiskey.
North British man.
North British man.
Honestly.
See, I'm gonna and what I mentioned last week, Glengarry. I'm always into Glengarry, so I'm not so much doing this anymore. I'm just going in and then rooting about like a ferret.
And fair to say though, there's still quite a bit of uncharted territory. I feel like you've hit a few things that you've found a passion for, and you go, I'll go down this for a while. Is that fair?
Mining. That's what I call it, mining. And if you hit on a gold seam, you keep whacking your picket to see what you can discover. And eventually you go, I'm just hitting rock now. You're right, I'll move on from that. And I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But you're very good at finding those veins, though. Right? You just seem to keep pulling up gold. It's
right, there it is. There it is.
No way.
There it is.
What,
and it's not. Have you opened it?
I want you to notice how full it is.
No way.
Do you know?
There should be a sticker on the back.
There is a sticker on the back, but you probably need me to, because you've listed everything that's gone in. Sorry for the listeners who are not watchers. I've just held up an Ardnamurchan bottle, one of the vintage Ardnamurchan bottles when they etched it on the original ones, and it says on the front Ardnamurchan Super Blend 2 started on the 1st of June 2023, and Gordon brought this along to the bottle share at the Blind Challenge that year in 2023, but he left it behind for me with about half or maybe a third of the bottle left. A third.
It was a full bottle when I put it down.
No, but you put it in a bottle share, right? And we were all drinking from it.
I think that's how it's left, because at the end I was like, if people knew what that super blend tasted like, I don't know, maybe I'm telling porkies. Have you added it?
Oh, there was less than half of this when I cleared up out the casino. There was less than half in the bottle. Okay,
I'm lying to you then.
You're not lying.
I'm still trying to piece this together though. How does half a bottle turn into a full bottle?
Well, I said, I messaged Gordon to say, by the way, I retrieved your bottle, and Gordon said, You keep it and enjoy it. I says, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll drink some of it and I'll top it off. But I'll top it off with only Ardnamurchans. But I'll do what I always do, and I'll not record what I'm putting in it.
Nah.
Yeah,
Luckily, if you really want to continue to keep that thing going, I know exactly what I put in this, so I can tell you what went into it. Okay, I only put 3 things into it.
Wow.
And what I did is I poured it in a wee glass, and I just added a teaspoon of the 3 things that I put into it, and I left it. And I came back and I said, "No, that tastes fine." And I almost topped off the bottle, but you keep a wee bit of headspace in case you want to footer or add a bit more or whatever. And if you make a mess of these things, you just leave a bit of space in the top or drink it down a bit and then play with it. You know, you can just keep food, never throw it away because you can always retrieve it. But I've just poured this now, and I have to tell you, it's a hot mess. It's not a hot mess at all, but it does taste like something that needs a bit of balance. It tastes like a Spinal Tap bottle. So I put into this some Golden Promise, a lot of Golden Promise. I put into this some Paul and Noir for a wee bit of sparkle, but not much. And a peated version that I'll need to go back and tell you what the specs are. Single cask peated, which might also... And I don't
Aberdeen?
Sorry?
Aberdeen?
No, I don't have that one. Single cask, though. But it's up there amongst... I have more Ardnamurchan than any other distillery right now. It's crazy. The only thing it comes close to is Loch Lomond, I think. But that's just pouring it tonight is the first time I've tried it since I topped it off and left it. It's been sitting over the idea was to bring it on the weekend, but it slipped my mind with everything else. So it's here. But I also don't think it was the right bottle to bring at the weekend either. It's one for us, right? Rather than sharing with the masses. It's one for us to footer with and see what we can do.
I'm really curious now. 'Cause would that have been the first time that the super blend, as it was called, has had Golden Promise in it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Golden Promise wasn't a thing when I did it.
And but again, the super blend is your super blend.
It's mine.
Gordon.
Aye. So what happened was, I made a super blend for Scott Munro as thanks for him giving me the Aquavitae Loch Lomond. And
wow.
Yeah, and I combined, I think there was maybe 15 or 16 Ardnamurchans in this super blend, and I tasted it and I was like, I have to do that again. So I did another one, and I took that to the the bottle share.
And what you're putting in there is the heels of, or are you trying to achieve anything?
No, it wasn't heels. It was just me just fiddling. I thought,
okay, so you were trying to reach something.
I just wanted to, I had all these Ardnamurchans, like the Little Brown Dog Banksy, which was this barbecue marshmallow, like potent thing. I want to put some of that in. Paul Noir, cask strength. I had 7 core ranges from earliest to latest. What else did I have? I had the April Fools, loads of things, and I thought I'm going to just combine all these and see what it means to me, and it was phenomenal.
It really was, by the way.
I've ruined it.
You've really ruined it. Sounds like you ruined it.
But Roy, were you trying to do something? Like, were you trying to?
No, I didn't. I didn't realize that there was such a.
There was method.
It says on the bottle.
What does it say in a bottle? It's got a list.
It tells you exactly what's in there. What was in there.
Yeah, okay, but I didn't know that was such a. I've knocked it out the park. It's such a perfect thing. It's so beautiful and
this. Sorry, so Gordon, you were very generous and you sent me 2 big scooters of this, right? I've saved one of them because it was like hire this man as their master blender, right?
Don't do that.
So, Roy, this is your homework now. You need to come back.
Well,
And
bring it
okay,
back.
my honest take,
Get it back into that space.
I am not a blender of any. I'm not a master of anything. However, as I sip this now, so this has been sitting here for the guts of 2025. It's been sitting. This was mixed a long time ago, right? The Paul Lanois is rinsed now. That's gone. I've still got some of the other two single casts that went in, but I think what it needs, and I've got a fresh Paul Lanois. I think what it needs is more top notes. It needs more balance. It needs more lightness. It's all very bass. It's big and boomy, and
needs some cowbell is what it needs. More
it needs
cowbell.
some string
Triangle.
It needs some top notes. Yeah, that's like ding. That's right. Exactly. Some
Brainstick.
strings. Some.
Okay,
So it needs some of that in it. So if I sit this down for a wee bit and then I add a bit of that and then leave it and give it back to you, then what we can do once it's settled for a while is we can have a blind, no context, no story. Just put out a glass of Bob's original sample. He's kept and then my broken efforts. And we can give it to Gregor or somebody and say, pick your favourite.
Easy. Easy.
But I mean, it's just a fun thing to do because, you know, people get really uptight about mixing whiskey, don't they? About taking from their collection the purity of the individual bottles. And for me, it just gets to the point that I think it helps you understand whiskey more. I think it helps you understand how the flavours affect each other, how you only need 5% of a peaty whiskey to make a really peaty whiskey.
Yeah.
And how some things can just get cancelled out and drowned out.
It's hard. It's really hard because at the amount of blends I've done, I went, that you wasted it. Whereas that just seemed to, I was being very careful adding in 50 mil and 50 mil. And you're thinking about it.
Do you think it's easier just doing a single distillery?
Oh, 100%, Bob, because
there's
there's a thread that weaves through all of it.
It's there already,
you're
right?
trying to like retain. You're trying to basically make something new from like.
You're bolting on to the spine.
It's the metronome. It's the metronome for the song you're trying to build.
Because I remember when I first heard about this, and I think it was Scotty Monroe. Obviously, I don't know if it's known, but he was telling me how he made his Kleinlich super blend. And every time I meet him, I always try and give him some, just be like, come on, top it up, keep it going. So I know he's kind of like waned a little bit, but it just seems like a really smart idea. But for me, I don't know, I feel like I want to make another one of like a Deanston or whatever, and try and be faithful to the spirit or like what they're trying to do, because could be a super smash and it could be a bit.
I mean, it can only ever be a very personal thing. It's always going to be a finite thing, but I think it's just good fun to let go of it a wee bit and just. It doesn't matter if you make a mess of it. I don't know what you did with your first one, Gordon, that you made a mess of, whether you just blended it out or whatever. But
still in hut.
Well, I bet you can recover that.
So we've got 3.
If you sip
I've got loads of super blends, Bob. Not hard working. I mean, the one that's out there, it's in a Lindor's bottle, and it's got a Berlauer, a Buna in it, and it's got loads of stuff in it. I'm not precious with whiskey. I open it all and I drink it all and I mix it all and I don't care.
I need to get a little bit more like you as we talk
too.
about collections. I'll touch on my collection in a sec, but the
conversations.
stop. No. The conversations. It's interesting. It's kind of gone into what we do with our collections and the fun we have and the blending. I'm reminded. I did have a couple of notes that I wanted to touch on, and this would be a good segue to it. I think a future, not so distant future episode will have to be our blending sequel, where we're trying to arrive at somewhere. We are trying to replicate something, which was widely regarded.
But a brilliant idea.
Aye, we'll figure that out but it was also there was a good interaction with it. A lot of people in the community were talking about what they would want us to try and blend to. I'd encourage everyone to fill in, or rather, like, flood the comment section. What do you want us to try and blend towards? I think in the zeitgeist there is a good recipe for the poor man's pappy, which makes it accessible. I think it's quite fun if it's something like that a lot of people would be interested in. So that would be the brief to the community. Now's your chance to kind of influence what we might blend towards. It could be a fun one.
So I just wanted to say, I don't know, this is another sign of my whiskey hoarding, or my collection, state of my collection, but I still have half samples of our first endeavour
Of the blend.
in the blend, because I wanted to kind of leave it and like see how it kind of matured over time, and go back to my notes and see if I'd preferred anything that sat for that amount of time. But
that would have been fun. We could have blinded ourselves on our blends and seen out, after a year what they're doing. A segue would be, or rather, we've not gone to my whiskey. I think we've touched on everyone else's whiskies that's in their glass. The whiskey I chose to pour to reflect the collection maybe is more just speaking to the fork in the road for my collection, or where I'm sensing maybe going with my collection. Like, I've often talked about mine being I've often talked about my collection and it being very a privilege in itself, of like, I want everything there for when I've got a different mood, right? It's the ultimate tuck shop. What sweetie do you want, right? I kind of, what type of movie do you want? Same thing. I kind of wanted my collection to be that. But I've also realised, one, it's maybe gone, it's skewed one way. And then also, even just as we were talking about the organisation of collection, through COVID, I changed up my collection, like put some shelves in that allowed for easy access. I've never gone back and had it reflect how it's been organised now, my preferences, and kind of, so I think a little overhaul is due. But I think this dram maybe represents an awakening or a realisation of some whiskies that are speaking to me now more than they did in the past. And this is a fair and true and honest moment, because I was blinded this whiskey once and it shone. It was most interesting for me in the same way I once was blinded and Martin snuck in a couple of ryes, the bastard that he is. And again, the palate didn't let me down. Like, I put them down away at the end. I didn't know what they were. Didn't like them. So the whiskey that's in my glass is
Can I guess?
whiskey that yeah, go for it.
Okay, you might be going in a different direction than I imagined. Is it a closed distillery?
Yes.
Is it Imperial? Oh wow, that's a very specific Imperial.
Well, you might recognise it, Roy, because up until 3 days ago, you owned this. You very kindly, as we were rushing out the door to go to an impromptu music gig, you were like, "Do you want anything? Do you want to take anything with you back? If you got room in your bag?" Like.
And he said no, and I said, for a 29-year-old Imperial, and he went, "Oh, aye."
Yeah. So I'm very, very, very generous, and I've already been having a few drams.
But I have to say, it was already a well damaged bottle before it handed it to you. You've not been drinking all of that. It was already half time.
Sorry. Aye, yeah. So it's a 29-year-old Imperial, distilled in 91, bottled in 2020, 194, status closed. I find that funny. And it was 45.7. And I hadn't heard too much about
natural cask strength as well, 45.
Yeah, I hadn't heard too much about Imperial. I just knew a little bit about it being unicorny and gone and never to be. But in that blind, the dram stuck out to me. It was just a bit interesting. It was just, I couldn't pinpoint what, but it was very different to anything else in the flight. And it was Chad Anderson that pulled the flight together. An amazing flight to put, and his was old. His was 27, I think, is it 27 or something like that? It was an old Imperial. This is 29 years old. Forgive me, Chad, if yours was older, but it just stood out, and not in a shouty way, you know. It just stood out as interesting, intriguing, and I remember thinking, this is kind of clean-leashy, and
Yep.
I don't know if that's factual either. I think I sense checked with you guys after the fact, Roy, but I think that was backed up. So I found it very interesting, and all I would say is it's opened up that door a little more, that I'm now not always reaching for sherry in my Friday night, and I'm kind of going, oh, this is interesting space. And I think I can see Roy smiling, and Roy we chatted briefly as well about where he thinks I'm going to go, and where, you know, like it's predetermined. But I appreciate one step.
No, I don't think it's predetermined, but there are certain things that you uncover and discover, and then you chat to other people about it, and the people that are further along the journey than you are, they kind of have this kind of little smile of recognition, because they've followed the same thing. And a lot of it, what you're talking about, if you say a bit clean-leashy, it's a perfect way to describe a phenomenon, because if you leave whiskey, peated or unpeated, truthfully, long enough in a refill cask and don't footer, just leave it the hell alone for 2 decades, 3 decades, they all go a wee bit tropical. A lot of them can bring along some really light, gorgeous honey and waxy notes. And they all kind of end up in this. There's no way to fake it or blend it. It can't be made. It just has to be waited upon. And that's, if you get into that style of whiskey, those old Clyneliches, old Speysides, old Glenlivets, old Glenfiddichs, Glen Grants, and Imperial is one of those. If you get into that style, then oops, whiskey is going to become a much more expensive hobby. But you wouldn't want to sit down and only drink that. It's a privilege. It's a kind of now and again thing. You go to Limburg and you can just fill your boots with that stuff by the dram. You can enjoy all of it, and you get this real idea of what old whiskey and let's say very, very inactive casks becomes. I listened to a podcast. It was the Curious Bartender hosted Serge. Okay, I encourage you to go and dig it out and listen to it. It's a fantastic interview, and I've been saying this for years, but the way Serge put it across, and it wasn't just Serge's opinion. It was, I can't remember the host's name now. I'm so sorry. Curious Bartender himself. The way that they teased it out and they talked about it. They talked about. We can understand where flavors come from if you distill something like fruit, right? Whether it's stone fruit or grapes or something like that. This is a very tasty, sweet, sugar-laden thing. You can understand that if you make a fermented drink from that and then you distill that thing, you can understand where lots of complex, fruity flavors come from, right? It's obvious there's a lineage there. But when we talk about whiskey, specifically Scotch whiskey, specifically single malt whiskey, we're talking about barley, which is going to be one of the most humble things on the planet. And yet it's capable, just by with water and yeast and time, of making the most amazing flavors. Amazing flavors. You're sipping that Imperial right now, Gregor, right?
Yeah.
For me, I get so much tropicality from those old whiskies. Stunning tropicality. Fruit, real sugar, real fruit, real honey, real wax, real all of these things, and it's just from grain. It's shocking to me that it can be a thing. It literally keeps me awake at night. It's just how is this thing happening? And I know that there's a way to that you can describe it. You can share what it is if you're into kind of chemistry and you're into studying it. I don't want to do that. I just want to I just want to live in the romance of it all. I think it's amazing.
Aye. Isn't it funny for that brightness to still be there so old, like after so much time? Like when you try some new make and they talk about the fruity distillate,
Yep.
you think, well, that's going to change over such a length of time, but it maybe just nuances. It's not. Yeah, it's just fascinating that it's still so bright.
You think it'd be
Cask,
like,
innit?
yeah.
Cask. Did I ever speak about that time I was schooled by Alistair Day?
Go for it.
We were in the Razzie warehouse and he said, "What do you want to try next?" And I said, "I want a sherry." And I went across and he spent ages looking at his phone. He must have been going through the manifesto of the warehouse. And we stood for like ages. He went, right, okay. Extract it. And it was like Master Blaster. He said, "Hold that thought. Come this way." So we went up to the other end of the warehouse and he took a wee sample out of this big, I think it was a butt. It was a big cask. He went, "Right, try that." And I was like, "Whoa, this is young." You know, idiot boy. Young, brilliant. He went, "That's like 3 years older than the whiskey you've just tasted."
Mm-hmm.
Because the cask was dud. It was an inactive cask. So the new make character just remained as the years passed by. Whereas this other sherry cask, the new make went in and the cask went, "Come here," and it wrestled with the new make and turned it into something else. So maybe it was just a really, really slow cask.
No, but the for Scotch whisky over the decades, the majority of casks that we matured Scotch whisky in were slow.
Right.
The cask investment was it got better over the years, and certainly in recent years it's become much better understood, much more investment gone in. But what happens with the likes of the Broras, the Legends, the old Clyneliches, the Glengrants, the Imperials, they went into second fill, third fill, fourth fill casks, and they were just rolled off and forgotten about, virtually forgotten about in some instances, right? And left alone for so long that there was wood influence there, but it was minimal and it was over years, and the spirit was just allowed to evolve in ways that's not typical or natural and certainly never designed. And it can produce. It doesn't always produce. It sometimes doesn't really do much. I mean, I've tasted pretty old spirit that still tastes pretty new makey, but it can produce gold, pure sublime gold. And when you taste that whiskey, and when you understand how, if it brings a tear, you just need to brace yourself for the fact, okay, I'm going to need to drink a lot less, save a lot more. Because that stuff is sought after and it's super expensive and it's rare because it's not designed. There's not a lot of it out there. In the future, when we're all in our 80s, I think there's going to be millions of this stuff around. Maybe it just won't be in those quiet, dead old casks, though. It's because a lot of the stuff in recent years have been filled into much more active, much fresher casks. So it's going to be interesting to see how things go forward. But the reason I'm smiling, Gregor, and all that big digression is because, you know, all it would take for you to go to a couple of kind of festivals like Limburg, or end up with, who was the guy, Chad, that poured that flight for you? Somebody who's got those whiskies in his armory, and suddenly you're going to find yourself down a rabbit hole that you never imagined you would be. And what the really cool thing about it is this belief in yourself that you're suddenly able to swim in much more subtle flavors than you used to. I remember just being in love with Glengoyne's Teapot Dram. Everything was dialed up to 11, right? I just thought it was absolutely fabulous. And then Graham Atkinson, the Whiskey Rev, once brought a 1995 Clynelish along, 20 years old, and poured it, and it realigned my entire world. It was like a flipping of the poles. It was just no. This is the whiskey I should have been drinking.
Yeah.
Where of course I was just at the right moment to start.
Yeah,
enjoying
exactly
it, right?
that. The landscape was there. The puzzle piece met the
Right.
whole, right? Like I remember thinking, again when it was early on in the journey and was kind of learning on the YouTubes, I would listen to you talk about, and even Daniel from the Whiskey Tribe, I'm sure, talking about Longmorn, the old green
Oh, aye.
Longmorn 16.
Perfect.
And you trust your mentor. So I ran out, bought one. I think I might even bought a couple. Didn't really get it at first. I was like, okay. And then another year or two later, you come back to the same bottle and your puzzle piece has changed or whatever.
Yes.
You're like, oh, it makes so much more sense now. So you can't rush it either. You can't.
No.
You can't.
Yes, that's right.
So aye.
I can attest to that being like a lockdown, early doors, like hit the ground running, VPub, like Ralphie, like give me everything. And you're trying to force this thing, but like it'll just come to you naturally. You'll find your own way, you'll find your own path, you'll mine your own like what is it Gordon says? Did you pick swingy?
Your seams.
Your seams.
But
yeah.
You go blind. You go blind if you mind your own seams.
Is that right? Just looking over to just delete.
I don't know. Aye. I just
no.
he's looking for the minute in the thread to.
I've got messages coming through, and I need to find a way. So I've just switched the window off to stop it distracting me. Sorry.
This
Are we? One thing I didn't say about my collection is I do kind of line it up or I organise. I've sort of gone by some regionality, but mostly it's actually this is the things that I like here and that type. This is the things I like here. So it is a bit more about preference and like kind of reaching for. But I have to say it does now not reflect where a lot of my preferences and the things I'm reaching for or wanting. For example, there is not an Ardnamurchan shelf,
right?
It doesn't exist yet because I've not reassessed how I'm putting the collection. So I think that might be a little fun winter project for me. Maybe to take a before photo and an after. What about you guys? I mean, it would be pointless talking to you, Roy, about how you've gone through how you organise yours. It makes sense. Gordon,
yes, sir.
Rob, any thoughts about what you would like to try and do or manipulate your collection to be now?
I really want to like just tip it all out and just like throw it up and just see how I can like invigorate it and mix it. I even like the idea of like as we've been talking, I've been thinking about how can I. Is it a case of like when I like almost like when it was first opened and almost like do a conveyor of like, okay, well, the oldest goes to the bottom or the top and they almost like see how it evolves. Because I normally when I do I normally take little samples. I used to take samples out at bottle points. Like it's wicked now. Catalog that right there where it is in the bottle. But maybe just do that as the whole thing rather than to like separate them out. Just live within it. That could be. Or I don't know if you ever heard this thing where it was like, it might be like a Maria Kondo Spark Joy thing where in your wardrobe, you have all your hangers facing one way. And then when it gets taken off, you flip it so you can know what you're actually wearing. I think that'd be interesting. Like see what floats to the top and what gets like forgotten. Like what the ones you're pulling down the most. That could be fun.
Did we talk about Marie Kondo once before?
Sure.
I'm sure it came out recently that she acknowledged, I think, kids coming into her. Aye, no. It's pretty much that really? She admits kids coming into her life, like her kids or whatever, has fucked it for her. Like, the system and whatever, it's gone, which I think is hilarious. or something to
That is
that effect. I'm
brilliant.
paraphrasing.
Mm.
But all right,
Brilliant.
but so it sounds like maybe not a winter project for you as well. Then maybe
Oh,
a
definitely.
Little...
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
And I think
Gordo.
you get so much out of just rearranging things, dusting the bottles and putting them back clean, and then you remember so many things that you've forgotten about that just slid to the back or whatever, and you rearrange the shelf. Even if you just put it back in the same way, it's rearranged in a way that brings some of the forgotten ones to the front, and that's nice to do as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
There's
You get to my stage, and there's so many things that I've just forgotten that they exist.
Oh, aye. Yeah.
This isn't a collection. This is abnormal. This is
a
this is
library.
This is a library now, right?
Yeah,
And I lean on it heavily.
An archive.
Yeah,
It is. It's aye.
Yeah.
Gordo, you any? I mean, you touched on your kind of your process right now, where you're at.
Well, I don't arrange any of my bottles. I have no system.
Rogue.
I have no process. I have no.
Which is a system.
in the
Well-
last house you had a super shelf.
I did have a super shelf, and it was
I
amazing.
miss your illuminated super shelf.
Yeah,
Me too.
Very pretty.
It will happen
Instagram
again.
misses it a little bit.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did an experiment with Kilcairn once, an 8-year-old cask strength sherry bomb, where I decanted it into various vessels and exposed one of them to air for 3 weeks, and I shook the other one really violently for 3 weeks, and I left the other one in the bottle for 3 weeks, and it made no difference.
Mm.
Wow.
And it just really reset my compass to be like, why am I getting so in the weeds? Whiskey will change in the bottle regardless of what you
Yeah.
do. Just open it and enjoy it, and come back to it, and it's changed, and that's great. It's sent me into the satellite world of just letting things happen, and so that's kind of extended to my collection, where I just things go in, things go out.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's very loose. And you know, tonight when I looked at my phone and you're like, right, grab this and grab that, I went into the now shed where all the whiskey is outside, and it's all over the place. It's all over the place. I have grouped them by so all the Loch Lomans are together, but there's no system involved, and I just look along them and I go, right, what I fancy. And it's not that big, you know. It's obviously not like Roy's archive. I drink my bottles, so they're dwindling. You know, they're not dwindling. They're going down. I don't replace them as quickly as I drink them. And so I just this one, the Glover's probably the one that I've been kind of eking out because it's expensive and
Scarcity.
means something to me more than others. You know, I just buy whiskey to drink it. This one was gifted to me by my wife, so I want to kind of eke it out. But other than that, have at it.
I do. I maybe not aspire. I appreciate that approach to the bottles. You know, now I feel like it's not right to say it's a collection. Yours is just a
Facility.
and a mass of stuff. The now, you know, like it's not.
I think not to get too philosophical about it, but the amount of reality checks that I've had over the years of you could be doing everything right and it still go wrong. You could be the healthiest person in the world and it doesn't matter a jot.
Yeah.
And I think when you get to that, you know, kids and age and things get you to this point in life where you just go, tomorrow I could go down to Portree, get run over by a bus, and then that would be it. And I would never have opened that.
Yeah.
And as I'm lying there, as the life ekes out of me, and I take my last few pictures through my eyeballs, I'll be thinking, but what did that Glover taste like?
Yeah. I wrestle with that because there is quite a lot. There's a lot there. I mean, here's a dirty little secret.
Oh, here we go. Hang on. Go.
I own every Aquavite release to date. How many have I opened?
None.
You have to open one.
You've opened some, surely.
Right,
Loch
so we've got
Lomond,
Gordon
surely.
with none. Gordon with none.
None.
Rob,
3.
I've opened one.
Wow.
Which was?
The Loch Lomond.
Loch
Daffodil.
Lomond. Loch
Daft
Lomond.
Bill.
I own 4 or more Daft Mills. How many have I opened?
1.
Does say
None.
none.
So I don't know what I'm waiting for. I don't know what I'm waiting for.
Can I sorry, just to chime in.
More whiskey pals.
I own 2 local barleys and Fear. I haven't opened either of them.
It's wrong, isn't it, Rob? We need to get
It's
somehow
terrible. You know, the thing is,
over into Gordon's camp.
I got called out big time with this. So I told Stefan what I had, and he was like, "What are you doing? Open it." I think actually in the same breath, somebody actually told me I should sell it, but I'm not going to sell it. It's too much effort.
Oh,
So the following year, the Glasgow Whisky Festival, he gives me he pulls his sample out of his pocket or in the pot still, and he's like, "Try this. I want you to try this." I was like, "Okay." Oh my god! Like the whole world just fucking stopped and everything just collapsed around me. Reality just fucking. It's like I got unplugged from the Matrix or something. And I was like, "That's amazing. What is this?" And he's like, "That's the local barley that you will open."
is this Stefan Novak?
Stefan Novak, yeah,
Of course.
I need to give
absolute legend.
I need to give Stefan Novak his flowers and his moment.
Yeah.
And then I think we'll go into the Ama Distillery. I put Stefan in a collection of people and personalities who leave you wanting more.
Yes.
You know, like
100%.
I put Scotty Monroe is for sure in that camp for me. And of course, it's all personal. It's all relative, right? But I'm sure we're all different and different people. But Stefan, I loved him. The little glimpses I got of him when we were in Isla. He's a beautiful human, and there was two anecdotes, all on the your blind session. Where are we at? Sunday. We're Scotty, Sevy, myself are behind the bar. We're handing stuff out, and he was I think pretty much the only one who reversed it. He was like, because I wasn't drinking all that much either there. And he's like, "Here, Gregor, give me your glass." And you know, again, similarly, Stefan's the type, when somebody does, most of us when we do that in a whiskey community, you do it anyway. But when Stefan, you're like, "Oh, fucking right, let's go."
Yeah.
And I gave him the glass, and I deliberately, I wasn't trying to see, and he gives it back. And there's a totally different facial expression to the human that is now watching the
reaction.
It play out for them, yeah, and you just get this cosmic moment where they go, "I know."
Yeah.
And I wish I could tell you what it was, but I can't. It's maybe Stefan, I don't know if you watch or listen, Stefan, maybe you can fill in what the dram was you poured me, but it was funny because a few minutes later, look, actually quite a while, half an hour later, it probably wasn't the same whiskey even. It was to you, Roy, that Stefan had filled your glass. And I watched all of the moment through Stefan. I was watching him. And he wasn't even sat with you. He was a few people away. And I could watch his little eyes dart watching, and he was just vicariously getting his moment through you. It was brilliant. I loved it.
Let's be honest. It's a weird thing, but it's a huge thrill, right? It's not you that's drinking the whiskey. It's not you that's experiencing the flood of sensory input, right? It's not you. You've given that to someone else. They're experiencing all that, and yet there's still so much joy for you. The vicarious enjoyment of you enjoying it all over again. The fact that you've shared it with them. The fact that you've switched them onto something that could maybe light them up. It's just. it's like the multiple different ways in which whiskey can give. And I shout out for Stefan. He wasn't there last year,
No.
right? And I missed him. And I suppose I get my fix of Stefan when I go over to Germany every year, but that has to be a bucket lister for us boys. You need to accompany me to Limburg one year.
I think every time I speak to me, he's always saying, "You need to go," and I need to.
It's just a different thing altogether. Anyway, for the future.
100%.
Just as we have a fine collection of whiskies, there is a fine collection of people that enjoy it.
Even more so, I'd say.
Roy, as the winner of last week's episode, you have
Yes,
the
I have.
honours for I Am a Distillery. Again, if you're coming in to this podcast halfway through or whatever, this is a game, 10 questions from the most obscure down to the most obvious, explaining or giving little tidbits of a distillery. You've got one shot to shoot. It's your choice when you shoot it. Once you're done, you hold your wheesht till the end to find out how you did. Let's have at it.
Okay. I am a distillery.
REI.
Mm. I am a Highland distillery.
See, this is when that shelf organization would really come in handy. Like, all of them.
I generate more electricity than I use.
Oh,
I make more electricity than I use, did you say?
Yeah, generate. Yeah.
generate.
Hang on.
So I essentially feed electricity back into the grid.
Carbon positive, we call that, right?
Well,
Is it?
on that fuel source, let's say, they make
Are
more
they
electricity than
generating-
they use, and they
So they
feed
must
back.
be generating through some other means of like hydro or something.
Do you know what? Screw it. I don't do this often. I want to say Deanston.
Oh my god!
I'm just gonna. Yeah, that's the first. It's the first time I've gone that early. So why not?
Wait. A Highland.
Yes.
Oh fuck!
no,
It's a lowland, isn't it?
no,
No,
it's still a
Deanston's
Highland.
Oh, is it?
Deans-
Oh.
Deanston is a Highland distillery.
But wait, Ardnamurchan's considered Highland, eh?
Western
Yeah.
Highlands, I think.
Would we say that's Highland, though?
But I don't think they feed back into the grid.
Fuck it, I'll say Ardnamurchan.
It's just
Come on, Gregor.
It's gonna be a long. I am a distillery with just me in it.
It's awkward now. We can kick back, Rob. We can kick back.
It's the first
Can I
time we normally wait right to like 9.
So it's only Gordo. Can I continue, please?
Sorry, yes, boss.
Number 8. Quite self-indulgent. This distillery would make my personal top 10. Don't know how that helps anyone listening.
Yeah, that's as bad as a silent letter that wasn't silent.
Yeah. Well, at least you're admitting that that was a shiter. Let's continue. I have 2 stills. I have a 10,000 litre wash still and a 6,000 litre spirit still, and they are married to stainless steel subcoolers.
Subcooler being like the condenser.
Yeah, no, very different thing. To regulate the temperature of the spirit in order to.
Oh, a subcooler, right?
Calls
Okay.
right.
Okay,
I just drink the stuff.
I produce unpeated malt, peated malt at 30 ppm, but also heavily peated malt at 80 ppm.
Oh. Come on in, Gordo.
You want to go? Despite my youth,
I am young.
Whiskey Base lists 195 distillery releases in my life. Well, I
realise
continue,
everybody's-
Gordon.
Everyone's watching you, Gordon. This is great.
Roy personally owns almost 40 official bottlings from this distillery. 30 are unique.
Right, there's a new question. There's a new guess. A new thing. There's the ass hat question in I Am a
Come on,
Distillery. If it ever relates to Roy.
specifically- the theme was our collections, okay? So I rolled with it.
Gregor, you might be on to carry on.
I pay homage to an 1853 law which allowed whiskey to mature tax-free,
Dancy man,
and the homage is on every single bottle that I
Dancy
release.
man. Dancy man. What question one? 8.
I enjoy on-site maturation as a nice feature
Aye.
of my makeup,
Well done, Gregor.
and I am owned by an independent bottler, I am Ardnamurchan.
Oh, hey,
Well done, pal.
did I just beat the Ardna fanboy at his own game?
But what was your guess based upon?
They were one of the most progressive on energy that's going
Right.
around.
So it was a shot in the dark. Let's be honest.
Well, hang on. I would have had to have known that energy was a huge part of Ardna Murchan's being, which would have also meant I had to have been a little bit aware.
Nah, it was a wild guess. It was a wild guess.
None of that will detract from the fact you didn't. I did.
Let's put it. Raise a wee glass to
Fat
Bob
end of
for
this
taking the banana skin as well on Deanston, and well done, son.
Oh, beautiful. Cheers, lads. That
Oh,
was good.
Gordon, I tried really hard for you, son. I did. I
Too
really
obvious.
tried.
Thank you.
Well, let's flip this on its head because I get to nominate, and I'm nominating
Solid.
Rob.
Ah, homework.
To do what?
As the next I Am a Distillery.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you have to come back.
It does. It does. It does. It means you have to come back, drink whiskey with us, and talk about it.
Can't wait.
Just going to seed this a little bit. We talked about the blending sequel. We also this is to get the community and the listener excited. I don't know if you want to hear us masticate on a microphone again,
Beg your pardon?
but microphone mastication will happen again. We will be doing the charcuterie pairing. So we're going to do a sausage with a whiskey.
Sausage mastication. Nice.
Yeah.
But that means we cannot invite the Grail girls for that. They were on our chocolate pairing, but
But they said you got a lot of vegan meats. Charcuterie.
Yeah.
oh
Honestly,
wait, did we have
they-
that conversation?
Mhm.
Yeah, we did. But the Grail girls, there's a multitude of things that you could invite them and they'd be brilliant at. That doesn't need to be complex, like
No, I know.
Vegan-
And
vegan
they're already
meats and
no.
things, right?
They are.
So-
They're on the hook. I bumped into Jen and Rachel. That was another highlight of the whiskey festival. Was us seeing each other
two festivals in a row.
in
Where
person.
I have not met Jen. Didn't believe she was there until I saw the photos that proved that she was. I met Rachel.
They were in fair,
no, missed
rare
her again.
form. We
Forget
met
Jen
each
and
other-
Rachel. It's Erin that you will be speaking to. She is
Oh, is that their little firecracker
nuclear.
friend?
Aye, the
Wild,
spokesperson.
wild.
Holy moly.
You think Rachel's a laugh? Her
Erin is
mate.
top.
Oh my word.
Yep.
Aye. And she was only an hour in, and she was already the most fun in the room. But I did
Brilliant.
manage to speak to the Grail girls, and they are on board to join the next special. So we might need to sneak in a wee Christmas special with the girls. I'll mull over the thoughts there. I will also fully accept and take responsibility. A lot of you listeners and fine folk have called in, and there's a lot of little messages. I think in the next episode, I'm going to crawl back through and pull them all through and give you your moment as well. But we do encourage you to join in the conversation via the dram pipe, Roy.
The drama phone. He's even forgot. That costs us.
I named it.
That costs us $20 a month, right?
Dramface.
And I almost killed the subscription last month.
Aye.
When
That's
things
what I
were
was looking
tight.
at your face for. I thought you were saying, "Nah, we've killed it."
And I was thinking, well, let's see until we record the next podcast to see if anybody's, because all the mail gets forwarded straight to you now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just let's see if it's worthwhile. So you've
I will-
genuinely been getting stuff in, yeah.
Yeah, I will collate the tapes and bring them in. And
Well, I
maybe
think
that's-
that's probably why that will be the thing that encourages more participation if it
Yeah.
works. Aye,
Yeah.
superb, good.
I seem to recall
winging
someone. I can recall one of the gang either sang or played a guitar, something on one of them. It's hilarious. So we'll bring them in on the next one. But just a wee sneak peek of future releases.
Good stuff.
But gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
As always.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
As I finish off this whisper of an Imperial, I say thank you all for joining. I thank you all especially for watching or listening. You are the reason we keep doing this, to be fair. So hang with us. We will get more prolific again. And till the next time, Slange.
Lunch. Ta-ra.
Lanja.
Solid black.
We have to visualize for minimal editing. We visualize the outro music happening right now. Lasts for 57 seconds. We can chitty chat. By the way, I have to say this Ardemarkin is getting better and better and better step by step.
That's
Add a wee bit of water to it.
Good ear of the guilt that he's fucked it up.
No, I think it's amazing. I think it's absolutely amazing. I was a bit nervous first approach, but no, I might have another pour. But I'm starving now.
Curry time.
Talk of
Roy, have you listened?
charcuterie and curries and
Oh, you were wincing at the thought of cured meats with a whiskey.
oh no, I love the idea of it.
Oh right,
I was thinking about the logistics of it, how we end up with the same kind of meat,
Oh no, there's staples. We'll that's doable.
Well, pepperami.
No, there's
I-
fine- you have fine merchants. We'll find stuff.
Right.
I know
Aye.
my
Guy?
team for the special. I definitely want to be back. I want to be on the charcuterie one.
So say again. You don't know what?
Normally, I give up my seat because it's obviously
Oh.
quite crowded sometimes. So I definitely want to be on the charcuterie one.
Bob says no. I'm sitting.
Yeah. If there's mastication going on, you want to be part of it.
Absolutely. If the
Especially
sausages,
sausage
Yeah.
mastication.
Guys,
Yeah.
masticate together. We can't bring
Stop
the
it.
girls into
Stop it.
masticate.
Time to get right.